There's never been a time as meaningful as this time. And if for no other reason, it's because we are alive right now. So perhaps for those that came before us, the elders, our ancestors, their time was meaningful, deeply meaningful for them. And they stepped up, and we hold a great deal of gratitude for them for doing so, for taking up the charge, and for being there in the way they can to esteem, uplift, empower, encourage, inspire those that came after, right? For us. And yet today is a really, really powerful time. Today, right now, there's a lot going on. It's a significant time in the world. Would you agree? There's a lot of things that would cause us to believe that, man, the world's about to end, maybe, right? That things are really going down the drain. I disagree. I don't think that that's what we should take from this at all. I think that this is the spark that catalyzes within our lives that which is going to be most meaningful for us. And that is, this is like that uncomfortable thing that kind of pushes you in to the greatest, most fulfilling elements of our lives. Like, for instance, at this winter solstice that just came past, there was a meeting. And this meeting was in a sacred location called Palenque, Chiapas, Mexico. And it was quite a stretch for me to be able to make it to this event. But I did. There was something calling me there beyond my ability to resist. So I made it. And as it turns out, something that I did not know, I had the inkling of, or I'd heard a bit about it, but I did not know that it was the culmination of a 500-year-old prophecy. And that is the prophecy of the Toltec, and as it pertains to something called the Quetzalcoatl, which is the feathered snake. And the idea being that it brings heaven to earth, bringing heaven to earth. And you may look around right now and you may think, man, we are as far from heaven on earth right now as we've ever been, maybe. And you know what? That's the external perception. Yep, that's what it looks like. But I got to tell you that the fruition of that 500-year-old prophecy just took place a few weeks ago. Just took place this past winter solstice. Wow. And I know that you perhaps don't readily discern the significance of that event, but that is something that is really, really impactful to our lives. And it's something that we can deeply consider and try and suss out the meaning of for ourselves. And so just as the quick thumbnail sketch of what just took place is that this was the shifting of the polarities from the eagle that has commonly been signified. It signifies the North, Canada and the United States. And then the condor that signifies South America, essentially, right? And the quetzal, which is the sacred bird of the Mayan people, and now is the national bird of Guatemala. And it's just it's a magnificent bird. Look it up, the quetzal. It's Quetzal. And so what took place just now, just a short time ago, is that there was a shifting of those polarities. A shifting of the polarities, meaning that the eagle has now gone south and the condor has now gone north. And this is not just an energetic understanding, like a metaphor, for instance. This is actually happening, right? And maybe not with the bird itself, although there's eagles all over the place where I'm at right now, which is in the very southern part of Mexico, on the borderline of Guatemala, where the quetzal is very significant. But it is actually happening where a whole host of people, a whole lot of people that are in the north, they are flying south, so to speak, right? And the same is happening for the southerners are taking flight to the north. And this is a very significant thing in that it is, and you see this all over the place, the migrations that are taking place from the south to the north. Well, there's similar migrations that are less spoken of, less publicized, that are taking up from the north to the south. And this is just a very dynamic thing, right? And there's a lot of significance to this. And in fact, there's a message. Now there's a new, the completion of that 500 years of prophecy. And they've been having ceremonies, and they've been having deep concentrated efforts in the direction to formalize this heaven, bringing heaven to earth for decades, centuries now, and it has come to fruition. It's come to completion now. And so now what we get to set forth into is bringing this message to the world. And you've been called. If you're listening to this, you've been called. You've been called to this. This is incumbent upon us, you and me, to bring this message to the world. And today's the day to start learning more, to being active, activating those deep yearnings that are within yourself. It's no accident. There's no accident that you have access to this information right now. Maybe you've been feeling something like this for a long time, but you just didn't know what it meant. Well, this is a part of it. This is a part of your journey, right? And maybe your journey takes you into a place that I'll never set foot. That's glorious. What a joy that is to know that this message transcends just our individual existence, right? This is our connection to the divine energy of all things, to God. And so be there, bring this message with as much as you can. This has been delivered to us by, the ancestors, of course, and by the elders and those that we look to, but it's like essentially from Mother Earth, from Pachamama, from the universe, from source energy, from that Christ consciousness within us, that divine source of all things, the Creator, from God Almighty, right? And so you've been called to this thing. You have. Yeah, not in a broad stroke sense, which is something that often happens when we learn of these really impactful things, right? Is that we think, oh yeah, like humanity at large is supposed to take up the cause and speak this message. And that's true. But it's not as true as you individually are to really deeply contemplate these things and then bring that message in your voice to the world. Because that's what your voice is for. Your voice, specifically your voice. If everybody, say in a choir or in a concert or in a, whatever, an orchestra, decided that, you know what, I'm just going to rely on the rest of these people to make the noise, to make this music, and I'll just sit back and relax, and everybody decided to do that, what happens? You're not having a concert anymore. There's no longer an orchestra. No, you call that a bunch of people sitting. That's what that's called. So today's your day.